Jim Sterling, the my favorite wrestler of all time, the Stardust, has published a State of the Sterling on his Patreon. Very, very long. Not interested in reading all this. However, I will read a little bit of it. Let's start with the excerpts that this Moja Zimla. I don't know what the fuck that name is. I'm assuming that's Serbian or Croatian or something. Let's see what he has to say. What he clipped out. Life isn't all roses. I'm dealing with a hurried house move because my landlord tried to jack up the rent to £2,000 sterling a month. I shit you not. She'd been creeping towards it and had me over a barrel in a wholly unfair lease, but she pushed it way too far with such a thoroughly laughable rate. She doesn't even respond to important maintenance requests for as much as she expects, and now she gets to deal with the results of her negligence. They're not my problem anymore. Yeah, dude, I'm sure she's going to have a really hard time finding a person to rent to in England. I'm sure. That's going to fucking kill her. I expect her to blame me for the water damage, but I've got the receipts demonstrating how only one of us gave a shit about the long-term effects of ignoring faulty plumbing, and it wasn't her. Even by landlord standards, the cheapness and avarice has been remarkable. There's another excerpt. As if it wasn't enough, last Thursday I provided an additional spanner in the works with my back blowing out literally on the day my comeback match was announced. The spinal hernia relapsed and knocked me utterly incapable. I was very genuinely worried I'd be in for the long one, possibly missing my match because it felt like a really bad flare up. I've done a lot of crying and screaming these past few days. You literally never get used to pure nerve pain, and to feel it so constantly is a unique hell. Fortunately, with my aggressive physio and obstinate audacity, I'm better at ironing out the backbone bulge out of myself than I used to be. And as of Monday afternoon, it began receding. I'm still hurting a lot, but I'm mobile again and improving steadily as the hours go by. I think I'll be back to normal in a few more days. Huge relief because the idea of being trapped in that state long term again is the single most terrifying thought I could have. There's two more. Nevertheless, this recent flare up has prompted me to finally acquire a wheelchair. I don't plan on needing it full time any day soon, but it was a smart item to get and partially use is something I'll have to start adapting to. So he's now entering the wheelchair bound phase. Um, with the writing career keeping me busy, exhaustion from injury, and a stress of a move coming up, the time has finally come to break the streak of never miss a Monday. My goal was always to hit 10 years of the Gymquisition, and I did that last November, so I feel relatively comfortable taking my first break from the show in a decade. Um, so I want to reiterate that he's getting a wheelchair to alleviate his back pain, but he's also stating that as soon as his hernia has gone away, he intends to go wrestle because I think that he's having a comeback wrestling competition with none other than the Kid Bandit. So this is one for the fucking eons, okay? This is gonna put WWE in its fucking place. We're gonna have queer wrestling in the UK between the Stardust and Kid Bandit, my second favorite wrestler of all time. So I'm hyped. I haven't been this hyped for a wrestling match since Horse John came in with the chair. I'm hyped for this one. I can't wait for wheelchair bound Jim Sterling and a tranny to dish it out in the squared circle, preferably in a church as last time. And what's the Episcopal? Is that the church that's like really gay? One of those churches. There's one other thing I want to read from this that I did not manage to get through this entire thing, but I just enjoyed his intro because he truly humbles himself. Jim Sterling is a heckin' valid NB, not a proper tranny. Kid Bandit is a proper tranny. I think he's even had the surgery to get the snip. So while he's obviously humbling himself quite a bit, getting evicted, living in a home flooded with water, sitting in a wheelchair, bedbound from a herniated disc, he starts off this post in such a vile, braggadocious way. He says, "Yeah, women's wrestling. That's right." I think I'm the only person in the world whose two favorite wrestlers are both women. Chat. um. So let's read this. As y'all may know, because I've not been quiet about it, I'm very much enjoying a new lease on professional life as a game writer, with a career that's rapidly expanded this past year. as well as my continuing to write for Vampire Survivors. Last month saw the release of Date Everything and Quantum Witch, marking the first publication of my proper narrative writing. Both games have had great reception, and Date Everything is doing extremely well. I've been blown away by how people reacted to the specific work I did, with TikTok falling in love with D.E. Barry Styles and streamers laughing their ass off at my Quantum Witch dialogue. It's been incredibly validating, especially seeing people who have no idea of my involvement or don't know who I am reacting so well. There's something objective about that, seeing the writing itself judged purely for what it is. It's the same reason I like dating people who haven't heard of me. Smiling emoji. I've gotta say, it's fucking fantastic to feel like my career is on such positive track again. Even more wonderfully, I'm doing my dream job. Despite writing being such a huge part of my life, I never dared to the kind of writing I always wanted to do. I had many ideas, even wrote some of them down sometimes, but I was too afraid I'd suck if I made a serious attempt at it. Especially having been a media critic for so long, there's a particular pressure to walk the walk, however perceived that pressure may be. So you can see, just loving his life. Just using that wheelchair to crank out absolute fucking bangers, chat. There's no regret whatsoever. He's a happy camper. We're happy for him. We're happy for the Stardust, chat. And I got nothing but goodwill towards my boy, James Stefani Sterling.
Thank you for watching this clip. This is the CACA. Remember to like and subscribe.